Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of What's Cooking with Neil. Today we're changing it up a little bit. We're going to do What's Shakin with Neil. We obviously have a guest host with me today, Megan Truax, who is our property manager. We're going to be doing some fantastic holiday cocktails that will make your holiday cheer to your holiday gatherings, if it's virtual or in person. So Megan is kind of our resident mixologist. I thought she'd be able to share some of her insights with us today. Megan, you want to kick us off with one of your favorites, the Moscow Mule or the Holiday Mule?
It's actually a mistletoe.
Mistletoe Mule, okay.
Yeah, we're getting a little fancy up in here. So this recipe is super duper easy. Obviously Moscow Mules are just going to have the ginger beer, vodka, lime juice, ice, shake it up or stir it. That's about it. So super simple. So all we're going to do for this recipe, obviously if you have your copper mugs at home, cool. If not, you can literally put them in anything. It's just more nostalgic value here. So we're just going to go ahead and put some ice cubes in the glass here. Just want to make sure that they're super cold. That's the whole point. Nobody likes a warm cocktail like it's supposed to be. So we'll get these bad boys filled up here. Today we're just going to do a recipe, super simple for both of us. All of mine are vodka oriented, all of his are bourbon, so I'm sure most people, if you do have an at-home bar, you'll probably have pretty much all of these at home. If not, any leftovers for us, there's an Alphabet store just down the street, so we are good. So,
And maybe we'll be making one of these cocktails for your holiday gatherings this year, or
to
you
be
think that you
honest,
might?
I don't know. That's a great question. Just for, I mean, I'm not much of a cocktail connoisseur at home. Like if we go out, I'll have cocktails, which will be fine. But typically, I don't necessarily do these at home. But perhaps if we have a gathering, it might not be a bad idea. All right. So right now, all we got here is going to be just our copper mugs filled with ice. Next thing that we're going to add is actually just going to be, we're actually going to put all the ingredients in here. That's what makes this super simple. You don't need a shaker or anything. Ingredients for this is again just going to be vodka. You're also going to have ginger beer. You can use any brand that you prefer. This recipe that we have here will actually make 2 cocktails. Obviously, if you need more than that, you can double if necessary. And then we're going to add some pomegranate seed for the season, and then we're going to have some fun garnishes on top. So
You have a healthy kick too in here.
Exactly.
A little pomegranate, great
There we
for
go.
antioxidants.
That's right.
Cleaning ourselves out in the midst of the holiday, all the good stuff.
All right.
Consuming the holiday.
Yeah, so I'm going to pour 1 ounce of this, and Neil, if you don't mind, I'm actually just going to need part of the lime.
Absolutely,
And get some
of
of that lime
course.
juice. If you want to cut that up for me, that would be great.
Happy to.
So we're going to add this in here. Just going to add half and half, so we're just measured out 2 ounces. So we're just going to add 1 ounce of each. Obviously, it's to your liking. Alright, perfect. And then we're literally just going to squeeze in some lime juice.
Kind of a splash of lime,
Yeah,
right?
just like a splash of lime, just for that freshness.
Just to give it
Nothing
some
super crazy.
acidity.
Yeah.
As we know from our cooking shows, acidity adds so much to flavors and actually sometimes enhances what's already present in your various ingredients. So always a plus.
Alrighty, now that we got that going, I'm going to go ahead and add in our ginger beer. This is just 1 12-ounce can. Again, use any brand that you like. I know they even have some that I believe that are like light flavored. Even when I was at the store, I saw some that already had lime added into the ginger beer. So again, it's really just based on your preference, whatever you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead.
The ginger beer we've learned today actually really doesn't have that much alcohol
It
content.
actually
right,
doesn't
Megan?
have alcohol in it at
Interesting.
all. I do believe that when you go to the store, I think I've seen some places that they actually have some that have alcohol added in it. To be honest, I don't necessarily know if I would go with that as an option, to be completely honest, just because, I mean, you're already adding the vodka that's in there. Like I said, it's going to ask you for a certain amount, but it's really just up to you how much you want to put in for them, your preferences. Obviously, everybody knows their own speed. So, all right, I'm just going to add.
That's a good public service announcement.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly during the holiday season.
Right.
All
right.
Good holiday cheer.
Perfect. So I just want to add a few more ice cubes in there. Now we're going to add in some of our pomegranate seeds. You can just pick these up at the store. They just come in a container. We got these in the refrigerator.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're just going to add these just for some color. This recipe actually says a 1/4 cup, but again, based on your preference. I'm not a super big pomegranate seed person. I do enjoy the flavor of pomegranate, but I know sometimes, you know, texture and things might be a little weird. So, all right, so we got that going in there. The only thing that we're going to need now is we're actually just going to garnish it with some mint, and then we're actually just going to put in a little bit of peppermint crunch on top. I actually got this at Target.
Oh, nice.
It's actually already crunched up, which is super simple. It's literally just crushed candy cane, but I'm sure everybody probably has candy canes lying around the house around this time of year, so if you got some of those, just feel free to crush them up.
Maybe a good time to use some of the ones you had from last year, maybe just
Right.
brush them up
Oh
and
gosh, I literally just got rid of mine. It's so
repurpose them.
bad. Alright, so we're just gonna add that in, making it look nice and festive. And then
Ooh,
we're
it's
just
got a
gonna
nice
add,
little,
yeah,
color.
we're just gonna add some mint leaves right in there.
And if anyone has any special cocktails that they like to make, feel free to post them on our Facebook page. We're always looking for feedback too. We may even invite you down to come join in and audition how you make your own cocktail. And we always like to share too. So feedback's always a good thing. So thank you for offering
And
that.
just for some funsies, if you wanna get a little crazy, we've got these
Nice.
little peppermint sticks here. Add those in, you can use it for a stir if you'd like. And alright,
Beautiful.
we got
Wow.
mistletoe mule
I wish you gotta
here.
get a close up of that. Sure.
He's coming on over, taking a look. There you are.
Absolutely.
Again, like I said, everybody knows their own speed, so feel free to add however. Obviously, the copper mugs are gonna be quite big. I do believe that they do come in some smaller sizes.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Beautiful
again,
color, though.
entirely up to you. But, I mean, they have these everywhere
Yeah.
now, so.
Thanks, Megan.
Of course.
Megan will join us again for one more before we do. She's going to do a Cosmos, a little preview of that one. I'm going to kick off here the Winter Bourbon Smash. So it's a really good kind of way to add in a little preserves to this. Will be kind of our secret ingredient. Some fresh fruit to kind of give it a little bit of a kick and some sweetness too. So we're going to start off with some ice. So we're going to add just about a half a cup here. And we're just going to do this in a shaker, right, Megan?
That's right.
I want to thank Megan for bringing in all these goodies. She had it in her Megan Truax collection of.
Right. And I will say too, I mean, if you don't have a cocktail shaker, I know sometimes that's not necessarily something that people have. If you just have just a generic glass, even just two of them, maybe one that's slightly bigger than the other, you can always top it on top of each other and give it a good shake. If not, there's really nothing wrong with the alternative James Bond method of the, or the James Bond method of the stir rather. So
Right.
they'll both work out to be the same. The shaker in this recipe actually does help quite a bit just because those preserves are going to be a little thicker. And mixing it around in that ice obviously will break it up, so then we'll actually end up with a pretty nice color once it's all done.
So we're adding the preserves right now. About 2 tablespoons here. Again, we'll post these. Actually, we already have posted online. So feel free to make this tonight if you'd like, or for your holiday gatherings, as we mentioned. Next, we're going to add the 2 tablespoons of bourbon. We have some Maker's Mark here, which we already removed the wax top on there, so she's ready to pour. And 2 tablespoons here, right, Megan?
That's right.
So, but this is really handy to have everything kind of in one fell swoop. That's here, right? Have that in here.
Neil's trying to this here on the bourbon.
And then we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of 1 tablespoon of triple sec.
Which is that, yep. And triple sec, I mean, obviously this brand isn't super expensive. If you go, like I said, to the alphabet store, you got quite a few options in the liqueur aisle. It's literally just whatever your preference is. I know typically, I know for me anyway, whenever you're mixing or making an actual cocktail, especially those little additives that go in, I'm not necessarily concerned about the brand. I think you can probably get away with maybe spending a little bit less and being mindful of your pocket.
And maybe we're gonna add the orange segments towards the end as a decor,
Yeah,
right?
once we actually add it in the glass.
And then we're just gonna add a
So-
little splash of club soda here too, so we got that ready to go. Again, club soda. And we got a little
Whoa, holiday surprise.
holiday surprise, exactly.
There you go.
Sometimes we'll make your holidays a little more festive. You have
Yeah.
that too, so a tad little surprise. Make sure you put your top on. And we're gonna make sure this is fully fastened on here. I'm gonna do my
The bartender
the
shake.
bartender shape, make sure it's still leak a little bit, that's alright. And then we're just gonna take this off.
You can actually just take the top off.
Oh, that's true.
Right there. Yeah, strain. Actually, if you want,
Can I
you can
strain
actually
it?
go ahead and get our big whiskey cubes loaded.
Yes,
In
absolutely.
the glass, if you'd like. If not, you're welcome to use just generic ice too.
Megan's gonna show us how to
Whatever
use
your
this. Is a really nice
preference.
little set here. Usually take a little time to freeze, but they're really beautiful in terms of the decor, because you really have a real full.
Ah,
Exactly.
there we go. I was like, it didn't want to go in the glass.
We're just gonna pour this in here too.
Yeah.
So let's just give it kind of a nice little
Pink
fizz.
color. Yeah. Very pretty. A little pretty. Yeah.
And
You
then
can
we're
add
just
your.
gonna
Yeah. Awesome.
like segment here too. So there you go. You got the bourbon smash, and I made kind of
He made a little bit of a smash, as you can tell.
I've smashed the smash up here too. So again, a nice little, add a little fruit on there, a lot of great flavor too.
And to
as
be
well.
honest, I know I've seen plenty of other, obviously the preserves are the ones that we're particularly using, which I believe are the raspberry.
Mhm.
That's obviously more of your seasonal flavor that
Yes.
you're wanting. If you're wanting to use a different preserve, I mean, obviously during maybe I don't know, maybe even during fall, you can maybe even use some sort of like, orange or apricot, maybe,
Yeah.
if you don't necessarily wanna use.
Fig preserve, maybe?
I don't know how that would taste, but again, whatever your preference.
Tastes like a fig Newton.
There you go. All right, while Neil's getting cleaned up, we're actually gonna go ahead and move on to our holiday Cosmo. So we got some awesome little stemless martini glasses, because for anything like me and Kirsty, usually don't like to use things with a stem on them. Especially during the holidays, if you're hanging out, it's best to not break anything. So I do believe they have these in plastic or acrylic as well. But first what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and prep our martini glass. Kirsty taught me this trick, because apparently I'm a newbie. We're gonna go ahead and line the martini glasses here with just with a little bit of lime.
Nice.
And the reason for that is because we actually have some, which everybody should have right now with all of the holiday baking. We have some of our sugar crystals here. So we're actually gonna go ahead and line some of these, and we're gonna do it in green, just because our holiday Cosmo that we have is actually gonna be a reddish color. Don't know how well. Yeah, it's got just a nice little green rim on there, nice and cute. Neil, what's your drink of choice during the holidays?
I'm kind of like a Mr. Griswold. I am partial to the hanging out and having the eggnog, a little bit of rum.
Very nice.
Sometimes I'll do a vodka tonic. I'm partial to wine, maybe occasionally some beer. But certainly a martini, vodka martini is always a plus. And I do kind of like occasionally a Bloody Mary. Equal opportunity.
Right? Not super picky. Yeah. I'm not, yeah, it's weird, during the holidays, I feel like wine is always just such like a simple choice, like with
Absolutely.
dinners and things of that nature, so I definitely get that, but.
Especially in the colder months, sure.
Yeah, especially red wine, right? But I feel like, I mean, I enjoy the recipes that you're making. I know my husband and I are definitely big bourbon drinkers, so, but it's nothing like sitting by the fire when it's cold outside and having a glass of bourbon or maybe even scotch, depending.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Mad Men style, around the fire. All right, guys, so I added some ice to our ice shaker. This recipe, again, is super simple. So we're actually just gonna add some vodka. We're gonna add some Grand Marnier or orange liqueur, whatever your preference. And then we're also gonna add in some cranberry pomegranate juice. So we're gonna give that a shake. Again, super, super simple recipe. This one only calls for 1.5 ounces. But to be honest, I mean, I'm gonna try to make 2 here, so I might just add just a little bit more. But again, know your own speed, know your preferences. There we go. Get that poured. Okay, I'm gonna add Grand Marnier. Again, plenty of other options for this too. You don't necessarily have to go with this. I know Cointreau is another good brand.
Indeed.
Obviously, if you guys already have triple sec from the other recipes that we did here, you're welcome to use
You
that
can mix
too.
and match too, which is a
Exactly.
great way to.
Definitely no crazy preference at all. This again only calls for 1 ounce. We're gonna give that a pour in there. Nice little color to this, but star of the show is actually gonna be our cranberry pomegranate.
Very
So you're
nice.
sensing a theme here.
Mhm. Then you can keep this for when you make mimosas as
Exactly,
well.
or
So
poinsettias,
poinsettias,
which we've been
right?
having here at the Bradford.
Hey,
So
wow. That's exciting. We have all kinds of fun events going on this holiday season.
yeah.
And what's the event we have going on tomorrow? Tomorrow, Megan, that we want to extend a special invite to.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, this episode's being pre-recorded, but our holiday dessert and ugly sweater party is actually going on this week. So we're just gonna have a plethora of holiday desserts, beer and wine, and obviously ugly sweaters. So I mean, what could be better, right? So there's a silicone top on this. So I'm just gonna give this just a little shake and make sure it doesn't go everywhere.
Like it did for me.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to pull a Neil, everyone. All right.
Oh my
Perfect. So
gosh.
that's nice and shaken up. You can see we got some
Very nice. I love that
here.
color.
That's right.
Very autumnal.
That's right. So we
Very
got our
nice.
cute little green rimmed glasses here, and we're gonna go ahead and pour in our cocktail.
Very nice.
I was like, maybe.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Very pretty. Perfect. All right.
Nice.
And last but not least, have just a couple
Of the cranberries.
of the cranberries. Obviously, you can freeze these too. Another good idea that I've seen in quite a few recipes as well. You can actually roll these, get them a little damp,
Oh, yeah.
roll them in sugar, and you can freeze them that way. That way they have that crystallized look to them. But here we are.
We're gonna have the sugar plum fairy bring you some sugar
That's
plums.
right. And we have our holiday cosmos.
Very nice. So finally, we're gonna round this out here with our winter warmer, which is our maple syrup old fashioned too. So we're gonna start with 2 ounces. This is a real nice one to kind of conclude with, right? Because it's getting cold out there now.
Not only
folks.
that, maple syrup, I feel like it's very elf-like.
Right.
I'm a fan.
So we're gonna have 2 ounces of our bourbon. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to make the mess I made last time because Megan's been doing a great job
Fingers
of
crossed.
keeping things organized, right? Otherwise, Megan might get doused. We're gonna add a 1/4 ounce of the maple syrup. So like Megan was saying, it's gonna give it a little kind of nice autumnal, like you're hanging out in the fall and watching the leaves fall. So I'm just gonna add 1/4. Is that a fair amount? You think, Megan?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Obviously, syrup's super sticky, not to mention bourbon can be that way too, so let's not make it too crazy here.
And then we're gonna add, what are we adding here too? The dash of the bitters too, which we have right here.
That's right.
Just a dash, right?
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it with the bitters. Depending on the cocktail, I know typically with old fashions, they do add quite a bit in there, but sometimes the bitter, obviously hence the name, can be a bit bitter, so you definitely don't want to overdo it.
It's true to its name.
That's right.
Absolutely. And then we're gonna add just the ice. Again, what do you suggest, Megan, on this one in terms of?
To be honest, I would just put in a couple cubes. You don't even necessarily need to shake it. You can give it a stir, which might be a little bit better.
Better for me,
Yeah, a
especially.
little bit
yes.
smoother. Just trying to be safe here.
And then we're gonna add a little orange lemon peel to seal this off too. So I'm just gonna just a
Get
little
our
bit
ice
of a.
ready.
We'll make a mess. We just want to combine our ingredients too, get that maple syrup
That's
and
right.
bitters,
That's right.
the
Yeah.
bourbon, of course.
Yeah, definitely not as thick as obviously the other recipe with the preserves that we have. So you don't need to overshake it or overstir it, rather.
So that's a sign of a good bartender when they can shake it and not make that mess too. So I got some work to do clearly.
Yeah, got some practicing for us here.
So I'm just gonna add this in. Actually, we'll use this to make sure we keep our ice out too. See, I am learning a few things.
Boom.
And we're just gonna go halfway on this one. So I can tell already just by pouring, you got a little bit of that.
Oh, I can
A little bit
smell
of
it.
that syrup in there too. And then we're just gonna finish off. We cut up a little orange here from our others. So I'm just gonna add a little orange rind just to finish it off here too. And then Megan did add in her fantastic oversized ice cubes blocks,
Right.
which just makes it just adds it's a nice conversation piece. It just kind of looks very like you get it in a restaurant bar. So.
That's right. We're all about quality here at the brand.
Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us, Megan. Thank you for participating in this with me. It's been a pleasure. Megan's been so gracious to also be our camera person. I want to thank Kirsty Reed, who's my fellow leasing associate, who's operating the cameras. And hi, Kirsty.
Hi.
So thanks for joining us. Happy holidays, and then we'll be rolling out some fun recipes for the new